So go to trainings, challenges. Yeah, data table scraping. Third one. Yeah. Okay. So this is a simple use case. I would like to go in basics, dive into basics, but I would just like to understand how far you are able to understand and work through what you already know. So the use case is simple: scrape all the information. Data is in the form of structured data table. Add data to Excel and only completed equal to true items to the output. Okay. And the tip here is after using data scraping, filter the items with filter data table. So these are the items that you have. Okay. So immediate activity right now, go with UiPath, start a new project. It can be a simple process, but scrape all the information, all the 200, there are around 200 rows, filter the completed items and add it into Excel or CSV, anything is fine. You have 3 minutes to complete this activity. I'm going on mute. Indrajit, you can keep your screen turned on. That's fine. Start with UiPath and start the work. I hope everyone have UiPath installed in their machines. Don't say that you don't have UiPath. This is a simple activity, I understand, but it's important for us to do it. Do with this one. Just go ahead and complete this. Give me 2 minutes or 3 minutes. I'll be back. So did everyone understood? Did everyone understood the use case or not? If you understood, just in the chat, just go ahead and type in yes, understood. Waiting for
Can you please explain once again?
just read through the table and add it to Excel. But in the from the last column, only add the items which are with true. Okay. Do it immediately. Let's connect back at 11:07. So I'm back. So what's the status? Team, you should respond. Were you able to do it or not?
No, just from my system is pretty much slow, so I'm just now logging into the UiPath Studio.
What about others?
I'm at filtering the data table version.
Okay. So I'm starting my screen share. Let me know once you're able to see it.
Yes, Vajra, you're able to see it.
Great. So yesterday we have completed till types of data. We checked with a list and array. We need to see these things, but out arguments and in arguments we have checked with in argument. And sequences we have completed with flowchart, flowchart decision, flowchart switch is missing that we can see. Um, we are checking with emails. Let's see. Okay, too many things to do. So normally what we do is we take a use case, and with that use case we'll try to learn the things. So with this use case, whatever we are trying to do, this is basically a screen scraping activity, or where we are trying to extract some value. So how much time do you think this will take to add or to write it to an Excel?
Yeah, writing it into Excel, I have took 2 minutes, but after that, if it is pipe delimited to should it record and then
It's not pipe delimited, right? Which website are you seeing? This is not pipe
oh,
delimited. This is a data table.
I can data scraping challenge, right?
Uh, Table scraping,
I opened it in
table data scraping.
okay. Advanced data scraping. I have checked. Okay,
Advanced data scraping is different. Anyway, let's just see. So now the time is 9:45, I guess. Exactly for next 30 minutes, we will discuss on various basics, like how can we see or how can we work with Excel activities and text activities. And we'll also see with some recordings, web recording and log messages and all. Let's just go and get started. Okay, so this is my week 1. How many of you have pulled the GitHub? Pulled changes from GitHub? Did anyone try? If no, go ahead and give it a try. Okay. In the last 15 minutes, we'll be discussing on some interview questions. Shruti from our team is scheduled to plan for an interview. See, whenever you plan for an interview, just tell in the team so that I can give you proper understanding and guidance on how you need to proceed and how you need to work, rather than just going and doing things, everything for yourself. Okay, so just add day 2. So in day 2, let's just add a new sequence. Add new sequence. So table scraping. Okay. So here we'll just try to record. So with the UI latest version of UiPath, we have only one place what we can record. Okay. So everything is app or web recording, and this will give you an option. Like can it take all the information? If it is a data table, it will fetch automatically and it will show you. Okay. Let's just delete it. This is not recording. Sorry. Don't save it. Go with table extraction. Add data. This particular item. Extract all columns. Yes. So if you see here, user ID, title, and completed. Everything is available for us. And there are 4 columns and 199 rows. Let's just see them. Okay. So let's hit on OK. And then if there is a next button, I can map it, or else if there is no next button, I need not map it. So do you know what is this used for? Image. This is used if there are any links in our table. I'll just upgrade this particular table again, maybe in a day or two. Then if you use this one, you will also get the links over here. Just give it out a try for yourself. And let's just continue. Hit on continue and close. Return an empty object. Let's just see. Yeah, this should be good. And what we'll do, we'll keep a data folder for our um, activities in this particular place. New data. So every data or every detail will be updated only here. Okay, so let's just give a new folder again. Table scraping. Okay. So whatever value we got it here, let's just write it as right range. I'm not using Excel activities. I'm using workbook activities. So with workbook, we need not have Excel installed in our machines, and this will be working as a library component. With Excel activities, we need to have Excel installed in our machine. So that is the difference, major difference that you can tell. And here you can just add data, table scraping, open. So I can just give you out extracted values. Yep. So it may not come here like this, but just a second. Just a second, guys. I'm getting a call. Hello. Sarita Chapani. Yeah, Chap. I'm in a meeting. Regarding what? No one pretending. No one pretending. I'll just connect with you in 30 minutes. Yeah, yeah. No need. Just you haven't uploaded anything. Okay. Sorry for that. So let's just queue from this particular data source. Um, we have table. This is our place, data and table scraping. So let's just give the path data slash table scraping and then slash Excel values, extracted values. Sheet name can be sheet 1 and data table will be extracted data table. Okay. Debug file. Let's just see if we are able to debug or not. Extracted all the values and here we can see the output. Okay, so one thing to remember when we are writing add to Excel, we just need to enable add headers properties, add headers so that the data will be added up with headers. But if we see here, data is in the form of whatever we require, we are able to get it. Only thing that we need to understand here are this program or this meeting is not just about extracting data table, but to see what are the underlying details that we have from here. So let's just use a breakpoint over here. I'm just seeing the chat. Can someone tell me, do you know what is the difference between what is immediate panel and what is log panel, output panel? Just trying to type in here. So we have locals panel and watch panel. So what is this one? I need each and every detail about these panels because these are the important things for us to do when we are working on projects to check with the results. Locals change the value of variable during execution. Okay. What is watch panel? What is output panel? What is immediate panel? Watch visible during execution and can choose argument or variable to see the value. Rabia, you are right. See, there are 13 members in our group. Immediate panel is used for inspecting data available at a certain point during debugging. Okay. Type expression and then get the values. That's right, Shravya. Anila, you are also right. So what is output panel? No one is talking about output panel. Okay. So output will give detailed information about logs, sideline activities, and exact date and time. Thanks, Akhilesh. Thanks, Bhavani. Thanks, Indrajit. So everyone know about output panel, but you are not able to explain about other panels. Fine. So while debugging, let's try to use breakpoints to start with the debug. And here we have 4x slow zoom speeds. So 1x is the slowest, 2x bit faster, 3x more faster, and 4x you can see the items executing. And there is a continue on exception here, like if you're debugging, but if you want to still continue on this exception, like you can just hit on this continue on exception, so it will not throw error. So that is this point or this main reason we will use this continue on error. Okay, so let's just debug and see what's the value. Okay, and can anyone tell me data scraping, is it a background activity or foreground activity? One quick question, is data scraping a background activity or a foreground activity? Background. Don't keep a question mark, keep a full stop. Yeah, it's a background activity because even though we don't see this particular UI of the web page, it's still able to extract the values. And these are the details about locals panel. Quickly see each and every detail. Here we will get to see what are the current variables that are in this particular scope. So for example, if we are using, this is a sequence, in this do block or while we are executing at this particular sequence, what are the variables and arguments, or arguments can be accessed at any point of time, but variables that are in active state and that's having some value, that values we can see here. And properties value, we will be able to see what is the current uh, activity and what is the previous activity. So extract data table is the previous activity. For this particular item, what are the previous values that we had? So extract metadata. So this is the selector for this particular table, and maximum results is 0. Table whatever we got, we are able to see it over here. And a delay between pages is 1.5. Extract data settings, whatever the schema that we have, that is shown here. Delay after delay before, each and every property of this particular activity will be shown in this particular previous item. So this will be changed, this extract data table. Now right line, if you complete this one, this becomes a previous item and the next one becomes the current item. So right range is the current item, where you can see starting cell is null. Data table that you are trying to enter is this one. So this is having a data table as an input value, right? This is the value. Add headers, the value set as true. Sheet name value set as sheet 1, and the C6 is the value of this name. And workbook path, where exactly are we storing it, and what is the length of that particular path. So display name and length. So these are the properties. This is a string and this is a property. ID value and 1.5, this is the value. So each and everything that is in the current scope, in the current local scope, is what we can see in the locals panel. Okay, whereas if we go to immediate panel, let's just see with the immediate panel. So this is my immediate panel, and if I just want to type in some value, extract data table. Okay, so if I just want to hit on enter, I can see all the values. Let me just see if Zoom is open or not. Okay, so let me just add one more activity. If I want to see now dot, so any kind of activity now dot toString. If I want to just check what value will I get, okay, or if I want to just write some code and if I want to find the value, for example, from now dot toString, I just want to split the value dot split. I want to split it with space, see, and I want to get the 0th value out of it. Okay, and but I want to get the first value out of it. So any kind of dynamic activity which we want to perform, we will be able to do that in our immediate panel. Immediately, if we want to find some value out of it, we will be able to do it. The same thing we will not be able to do in our locals panel. Okay, so that is the difference, or that is something that you need to observe. And if I want to just use, just want to get like extract data table dot, can I add, see here, data view, beginning, child, rows, columns, column count. Let me just see how many columns, just 4. So while debugging or while writing the code, if I want to drill down further on what is the in detail property, I can go ahead and watch. One more important thing here to see is this watch panel. So what is the difference between watch, locals, and immediate panel? Now in watch panel, you will be able to assign a variable and for example, extract data table. So now dot toString. So this is the value that it came. That is it is the current value. Now if I use extract data table, okay. So if I use extract data table, then what I'll get? I will get all the values. Now this value can be changed, or if I want to see exactly, extract data table dot row count. If I want to have a look, or if I want to just have an understanding, like this is something that I need to watch continuously and monitor continuously, then I can add it in the watch panel. The main difference between watch panel and immediate panel is here every time you need to type in the value, like you need to type in a command, only then you will be able to see the value. But in watch panel, you will be continuously, or the bot or the software will be watching on what is the variable and how that's changing continuously, and with that it will also change. Let's just continue to see what changes can we have. So this extra data table will be only within this do block. If we move out of this do block to use application browser, this value will not be available and will not have extra data table value. Let's just go to debug step into. I'm using step into to go at one step in. If I use step over, it will come to its parent. Let's just use step into. So now when I go to data table scraping, there is no scope for these two items, extract data table and extract values. So if I just go to the variables, the data, this particular scope is still data scraping only. Okay, but if it is going out of data scraping, it doesn't have any value. Let's just continue. Okay, now every time you debug, this watch panel values will stay. Where is my debug? Okay, now every time I debug something, until you close the project, this watch panel values will stay. Irrespective of what value it is, it will stay, so that even if I execute 100 times, I will still be able to monitor these two particular values. And in the same way, immediate panel will have the values, but we will not be able to get the active value. Okay, whereas in outputs, so if you see in the output panel, you will be able to see the logs, what is the current execution that happened, and what are the log messages that you have written. All these values you can see. You cannot dynamically add some value over here. Okay, so now did you understand the major differences between log, immediate panel, locals panel, and output? If you understood, just give it out a thumbs up and just comment out yes in the chat. And if you already know these details, also ping me, stating that we already know this, so no need to cover, so that I will not be covering. It will save our time. Okay, so here, I hope everyone knows what is step into, step over, but I will just add one simple execution and I will show you. Now step into will go at one step in. So if you see here, this, if I press step into, I will go inside this workflow or inside this item. Step over will move to the next level, same level item in the next, same level next item. So if I use step over, it will go to the next item in the same range or in the same level. But if I use step out, it will go to the parent. Okay, so let me just stop it and I will show you again. So step into will start from the beginning. Data scraping, step into, use application scraping. Okay, do. So it's going in one step at a time. But if I use step out, it will go directly to the parent, do block, and it will stop at the parent. Step out. Okay, and if I just go ahead and step out again, it will go back to the parent. So those are the differences between these three things, and it will be very important to know all these details. And if you want to see logs, maybe I'm not able to, I just want to see the previous logs as well. Click on open logs. Here you will be able to see what are the execution logs, what are studio logs, everything. I specifically don't recommend you to go at this level at this point of time, because there will be too much of information which you will not be able to consume. Okay, but if someone asks you in the interview, like, where did you check the logs? This is an interview question again. So how will you and where will you check the logs? So if there is an error in your execution, first thing that we will see or we will check is in the orchestrator. In the orchestrator execution, in the jobs, we'll see the logs. But if the logs failed in the orchestrator and if we are not able to identify the error in orchestrator, we will go into the machine, and in the machine we will open UiPath logs. All the logs will be stored in UiPath, and the path will be user profile, username, app data, local UiPath logs. This is where you will be able to see all the execution details. And execution detail log, this is where you will be able to see the values. Again, this is a DB file. You need not check on this one, but you can see the values over here. Okay. So these are the important interview questions. Normally, people will ask in the beginning to see if you have that understanding of uh, an experienced person. So if you clearly understand this one and if you are able to answer like, okay, if there is any execution error, we will be notified. As a developer, I have first created a email alert, and it will be sent to our respective teams. And if the email alert, once we get the email alert, we will just log in into Orchestrator. And in the Orchestrator, we will see what are the logs that are available for that particular job. And if the job is not, like if the job did not start, it means that the robot, there is a robot issue. If the job started but failed, we can see with the logs and with the details. Okay, and if you are unable to find the details in the logs also, then in the orchestrated logs, then we will log in into the machine, and in that machine we will see the orchestrator, we'll see the logs in the file system. Okay, understood? Important interview question. I will just mark it, or I will just add it up in the questionnaires. Yeah. So this is our day 2, 26th September. If there is any error in execution, how will you find it? Okay, the answer can be something like this. First, I will check with the okay, let me just see. First, I will check with the execution details in the orchestrator logs. If I am able to get the details, I will inform to the respective team members on the execution errors. If the log is intended, then we will just ignore. If the log is something new, then we will take it to the next level. But if we are not able to find the logs, and if sometimes the logs are not available in the orchestrator jobs, then we will log in into the machine, and in that machine, we will be able to see all the details about the logs. There will be some spelling mistakes, but just update them. You can also update this document. Okay, so today we covered on water panels, and we covered on output, immediate, and locals. What is the other one? Watch.
Watch.
Yeah, immediate panel, immediate panel. Okay, so now there is also a condition that we can use here. In breakpoints, let's see that I have kept a breakpoint over here, right? Extract data table, I have kept a breakpoint. But what if I want to stop it only at a particular point, or if I just want to stop it only if there is a particular requirement? In this right range, I will just go to settings, and in this settings, I will stop when this should stop. It for me as a developer, I may have 100 records, and but only when a specific record is having one specific requirement, only then if I need to stop, then I can do something like this. So I can use extract data table dot if the count, if the row count, if it is equal to, okay, or I can just take, I know the column count, so let me just see column count equal to 4, and if it is equal to 4, then I can do it, and I can found 4 columns. So I can continue execution while logging, or else I can also stop it. And hit count stops the nth time it passed the condition. For example, let's assume that this is executed some around 4 or 5 times, and if it is reaching a threshold, only then stop. So all these kinds of activities that we can do. So just see with this particular item, if this is a condition, then instead of circle it will become like a diamond and plus. So let's just debug it. So this should stop now, and we will also change the condition later to show that this will not stop when there is an error or when it's not matching. So this is stopping now. The main reason is found 4 columns, and let's just continue. And here in the breakpoints, let's just now change this particular item, and let's just go to settings, and in this one, let's just make it to 3. So I'm just making it to false, so it will not stop. Debug breakpoint. It did not stop. The main reason is we are not matching with the condition. Okay. So this is one more interview question, like how will you stop a breakpoint on a specific condition? In conditional breakpoint, we will have a requirement to be matched, and if the condition is matched, only then it will be stopped. We will also have a counter where we can match to that specific counter. Like every time the breakpoint matches that specific counter, after 4 times it matches, only then stop. So all these kind improvements we can do in breakpoint panel in the settings of a particular breakpoint. Okay. So this is the way how we debug our code in the interviews. If you are an experienced developer, you will not talk on activities. For example, if I let's take this particular use case, and in this use case, like I have asked you, how did you did this project? Now, um, how many of you have completed this activity? How many of you were able to extract the values and add it to Excel? Bhavani completed, Shravya completed. What about others? So, okay, we have one more hand raise. Akhilesh completed. Okay, so Anila completed. So, Anila, can you please unmute and tell me how did you work on this project?
Hello.
Yeah, Anila, go ahead.
Uh, so I just opened the design wizard and did the data table scraping,
Hmm.
and I just followed the same method.
Okay, go on mute, please. Thank you. So, Akhilesh.
Yeah, like first I have read the data table
Mm-hmm.
and like I have written it into a CSV format.
Mm-hmm.
And later, like I have used the if condition, like if it is true, it is taken into one data table. If it is false, it will be taken into another data table.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and Shravya.
Yeah, I have extracted using table extraction
Mm-hmm.
and saved. I've picked only one column. I've deleted all the other three columns and only extracted one column and saved it in an Excel.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you. Bhavani.
I've extracted the data using data scraping, and I filtered it out with a particular condition and returned to Excel.
Okay. Now, if you observe, each and everyone are explaining me in terms of activities. None of you are explaining me in terms of projects. Okay. When you are in an interview, interviewer will be asking you on what projects have you done and how were you able to complete those projects. He will not be asking you in the first go itself, like, do you know what is if condition? Do you know what is data scraping and all? That's not what it is intended in explaining. Can you tell me about a project? Okay, when there is a question like, can you explain me how you did this project, then this will be something like you need to start by explaining on the life cycle. Okay, so this can be understood something like this. Well, I got the requirements for my from my business analyst, and in the requirements there is we have a document called PDD, process definition document. In that there will be a step-by-step process where I will get to know each and every step that I need to write or develop with the code. Well, before I develop the code, I will have a checklist on whatever the details that are provided. Are the details sufficient or not? If they are not sufficient, what kind of improvements or what kind of gaps that I have to work on this particular code? For example, in our website, from our website, while I'm trying to extract the information, I haven't given you any idea or any update on how many data do we have, how much data do we have, is will it be only on 10 like 10 rows, or will it be on 10 lakh rows? I haven't given you those information. But as a developer, you should be able to understand what is the underlying data, and you should be able to think on, if I am working on any particular automation, what benefit will it give to a end user? Okay, so this is the main intention on working with projects. Because in the interview, if you are showcasing yourself as 2 to 3 years of experience, why will someone be concerned if you are able to extract a data table or not? You are doing it for 2 years, and if you are doing it for 2 years, you are already, interviewer will be already in a mindset that you know all the basics. You need not tell, like, I will be using a table scraping, I will be using a filter condition and all. So if I am the if I am in interview, I will try to explain something like this. Okay. Well, I have done multiple automations, and within those automations, I um, web automation and desktop automation are two major ones. The main reason is many clients are working on those. And with this web automation, we did multiple activities: data entry, we did extraction of information, and we did data scraping with unstructured data and structured data. And then you can also say we used multiple business conditions and filtered that information, and depending upon the information, we were able to store the information or send the information to a different member or create reports. So this is what I will tell. I will not tell like, okay, I have created a workflow where I used a data table, and in the data table I filtered every row and I extracted the values. This is not what I will tell. Understood? Is it clear? Did you understand, like if you have already attended the interviews, are you able to understand what mistakes are you doing till now? Yes or no? Yes. Okay. Just check it out. So every day we'll be discussing on these terms. Like if you are working on a project, it's not only working on a project. In the demo itself, I have clearly mentioned to you, like we'll be practicing for interviews as well. Like how we can practice only by understanding the scenario and how you answer to those scenarios. It's not always answering to one particular use case. It's so there will be situations where you will be asked a particular use case, and you will be asked to work on it and to share the result. Even that will be done, and we will also work on the same activities. Even that will be covered. Understood? Understood or not? Yes, 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 yes. Give it a thumbs up if you understood. Got it. So today, I would like to bring in few documents for you where you can go ahead and check on what exactly and how exactly you need to answer in the interview. So go to general folder. In general folder, go to files. Is UiPath projects. Okay. So let's just go remove the tab. Yeah. So here there are multiple items that are available. In that, I would like to bring in few things. First one is mock interview recording transcript. Hope this is correct. No, not this one. Yeah, live interview questions with recording transcript. Let's just see. Yeah, here it is. Now, for the next 8 minutes, we'll see something on how you need to give your introduction and what are the mistakes that you are making and how can you bounce back even if you make some mistake. Okay. So Shravya, since you have interview, let's take it as a mock interview for you for next 8 minutes. See, I will ask you to make you fail, but don't get disheartened with my questions. But this is only way how you can understand where you are making mistakes. If the same question is asked by an interviewer, then you should be ready with an answer now itself rather than thinking about an answer in the interview. Is that understood, Shravya?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. Shravya, tell me about yourself.
Yeah. Hi. This is Shravya. I have 6 years of experience in IT company. I work for TCS, and I have experience in UiPath and data stage, and also I have 1 year of experience in .NET.
Mhm,
So I've done many automation projects in UiPath.
mhm. Okay, is that it?
Yeah.
Okay, so when you are giving your introduction, how many years of experience did you said?
6 years of experience.
So, can 6 years of experience be said within 6 seconds? Is it fair enough?
No.
Okay. So, understand that when you are telling about yourself, it's not only about your basic details. You should tell something that is required for the current interview, and what do we need to do to make sure interviewer gets understood that we know the concepts. We know
Okay.
each and every detail that we are working on, rather than just telling that I worked on UiPath, I worked on .NET for 1 year and all. You need to give an answer in such a way that it will kill first 5 minutes of an interview
Okay.
continuously. The main reason is if you are able to give or if you're able to kill first 5 minutes of an interview. See, normally an active interview will be happening if it is for 30 minutes, it will be happening only for 20 minutes or 15 minutes. By that time, within the first 5 minutes, interviewer will get to know if you are really good at something or not.
Okay.
Okay, it will not take more than 2 minutes also. So use that tell me about yourself question as the icebreaker, and let's just read this particular document and answer it. Can you see?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. Read this. Just read this, nothing else.
Yeah, I have 5 years of experience in IT, and in that I have 3 years of experience in as a RPA developer, and I majorly worked with UiPath. I was involved in project life cycle activities from the initiation state to analysis to to deployment and finally maintenance phase. I have experience in working with all types of bots developments. I also worked on all activities with respect to email, Excel, and all UiPath activities. And I have also good understanding with orchestrator activities. Since I'm working with Re framework, RD framework, most of the projects require transactions from orchestrator queue. So I have a good experience in orchestrator as well. I have completed the certification from UiPath Academy with respect to orchestrator. And I do have experience in the previous version of orchestrator, that is 2019, and the latest version of orchestrator, that is 2021.
Go on, go on.
Major activities that I had worked are with orchestrator or creation of robots, task creation and working with the task, debugging the jobs and the scheduling of any jobs if required. So I worked on a time schedule as well, and as queue activity triggers as well. So I do have knowledge on cron expressions, so to schedule the jobs.
Okay. So this is the live interview recording that happened. So there might be some punctuation mistakes and some incorrect sentence framing. But did you know now by just reading it, how much time did you spend in answering this question?
Yeah, like 2 to 3 minutes, I guess.
Exactly. So you can add more. Okay.
Okay.
But if you understand, you covered on multiple things. You covered on orchestrator, you covered on jobs, you covered on triggers, you covered on robots, you covered on UiPath Studio, you covered on multiple versions of orchestrator as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, if you're going for a UiPath developer job, then which one do you think is better way of telling and giving an introduction? Is the way how you are giving an introduction, or is this the way?
Yeah, this is the good.
Understood. So I'm not telling
Yeah.
that these are the only sentences that you need to talk or you need to tell. But if every time just understand what an interviewer want. I will give you an
Mm.
example. I will give you a live example since you have already joined in this. I don't mind giving it. In the demo of our meeting on 26th or some date on Saturday that I have created, did you observe the way how I presented to all the members?
Yeah.
Okay,
So yeah.
so tell me. Tell me.
You have introduced yourself from the scratch, like what you have done and what are your activities and achievements.
Yeah. So there should be some kind of interest you need to build to the interviewer. You should take the control of the interview. Interviewer should not have the control. Remember that.
Okay.
Okay. So next question will always be from the last answer that you have given most of the
Okay.
times. So if you all of a sudden you said in your project I have worked with orchestrator, next question will always be at most of the times, okay, tell me about orchestrator, what you know about orchestrator. If they don't have any specific set of questions readily available that they need to ask only these, most of the times this will not happen. Like this, there will not be only standard set of questions. So always your interview will happen something like the last question, the next question will always be with the last answer that you have given. Okay.
Okay.
Just remember that. And your vocabulary is good. The way how your pronunciation is good, English is good, you are confident, you are telling things correctly, and I know that you have already scored very well in the mock test that I have given. So you know the concepts. Remember that.
Okay.
And you are more than best than any other interviewer that he is going to see, interviewee that he is going to see. Okay.
Okay.
Always remember to give only the details that are required for the projects. Because if I have seen some interviews like, okay, I do a lot of gaming and I do a lot of swimming as my hobbies. I do accept you do a lot of gaming and do a lot of swimming, but how far is it related to our program? Okay, our job. And why should I hire you is the main concept that everyone need to think on. Why should someone hire you? And remember one more thing, even if you don't have experience, okay, but if you are able to crack the interviewer already understood that you are fit for the job and you will be able to complete the activities that are available in the job. So don't think back in a mind stating that, okay, if I attend the interview and if I get a job, what if I get a task and if I'm not able to do it? So this is one of the uh, major mindset people will have. I will tell you one thing. If you think on the end goal that you need to get a job, then plan for how to get a job. Later you can think on how to work on it. And moreover,
Okay.
this 30 days program will help you to complete your job on all the activities. Okay. Don't be in a mindset like, what if I get a task? If you get a task, that's just a task. You need to complete it and you will be able to complete it. There are a lot of firms available, forum available, I am available, your team members are available, everyone are available. But it's your job, so you need to complete a task at the end of the day. But first you need to get a job. You need to be placed. So that's your main target. You can see all the other items later. I still suspect that many of you haven't prepared your resumes. If you haven't prepared your resumes, then this is a red alert for you. You are already done with the second day of our program. Our program will only be active for 20 working days. Okay, that's include 4 weekends. So altogether it's 30 days, but we will have only 20 working days in our program. So 2 days are almost gone. Now 18 more days. By end of this day or by tomorrow morning, sit and prepare your resumes. Irrespective of what the bullshit you want to add, you can add it in it. If you are able to sell that bullshit or whatever you want you have written, then you are good. Even you have done very good project, and if you are not able to explain about that project, that will not have a value. Even if you have done a shitty project and you still have the experience to beautify it and tell it, then That's the way how you can do it. Understand the presentation is always important. Okay, is it done for today? I will just like to close it for today. So we'll be working on the activities as well as these skills as well, how to crack these interviews. Okay, everyone, give it a thumbs up if you understood today's meeting and if you are able to get the gist of our meeting or not. Yes, if yes, just go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Thumbs up from Indrajit, Neha, Abhiman, thank you, Sairam, Darshan. Cool. So thank you so much, everyone. That's it for today, and have a great day ahead, or have a great night ahead. And people who are from US and other places, have a great day. If you have any questions, I'll be available for 2 more minutes to take your question, or else we'll be stopping our recording. And all the code is committed already to Git, so you can just pull it out if you want.
So how you are doing that, Vajrang? How you are uploading it to Git?
We are using
Like,
it tomorrow or in next 1 or 2 days, we'll see. And one more
okay.
important interview question, Shravya, for you is if they ask you what kind of repo management you use, you can just say Git. I use Git to manage my repos. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. I have given you, there is a question initially asked, like what is the difference between, why do we use private? And I have shared a link already. I'm just sharing it again in the chat. Just go ahead and see that link.
Okay.
Yeah. Can interviewer build a small application in front of them? Yes, Dhaval. I have asked you now, right? The same way, he or she can tell you to do it. So each and every day of this program will be useful to crack that interview. Keep in mind that every day you need to practice whatever I am discussing. Just watch the video. If you are feeling bored, like I cannot watch it for 1 hour continuously, keep it at 2x. Watch it. We'll be speaking slow, so you will be able to understand it even at 2x speed in YouTube. Any other questions? Okay. Can you give me just quick feedback on whether you are able to understand the sessions? Is it different from your basics that you are learning online or anywhere? Or is it the same concept that we are covering here? Give me a quick feedback and you can leave for the day. You can unmute and talk, please.
Yes, Vajrang, it's different from today's class. What I've observed is like coming on sessions will go more deep and it is more useful to us than in YouTube videos and previous classes.
Yep. Sure, Bhavani. Promise will be delivered.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. What about others?
Yeah, if we want to go through any topic on YouTube, it will take approximately 20 to 30 minutes to understand in deep. So rather than that, if we have any doubt, if we ask you, it will be clear in a minute. So we'll get the understanding and we'll keep in mind also
Yes.
more fast.
Thank you. Thank you, Shravya. What about others? The more you are silent, the more you will be away from the meeting, or you will be disconnected from the meeting. Remember, all the members that are placed spoke very well or communicated very well with me during the meetings.
Well, Vajrang, I think the task which you are giving and asking us to do and explaining what are the things we must do, that is more interactive, and probably we are getting hands-on, and at the same time we can know what's the error it is and how we can debug it and what's the right approach. So yeah, that is helpful. So this we might not get in YouTube or something like that. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks, Indrajit. Thanks. What about others? So there will be one question in next few days. Like I'll be continuously asking the same question. Are you seeing this different or are you seeing the same? So you should also come up with new answers on giving an answer. Okay. Because in the interviews or in your interviews, the same question will be there after third or fourth interview. That will not there will not be multiple different questions. You will have the same question, but you need to answer it in a different way. Okay, that's what we are trying to do over here. Yeah, Anila, go ahead.
No,
Anila,
I think I muted it by mistake. I'm sorry.
okay, no problem. But hope you are understanding the sessions. Is it right?
Yeah, they're very clear. It took me a while to understand about those panels before,
Mm-hmm.
the immediate panel and watch panel. It took me a lot of time to understand them on my own, but today it was like within a minute it was done. So it was a good session.
Okay, thanks everyone. Have a great day. Bye bye.